Hello everyone and welcome back to Good Morning Lovely. My name is Amanda and today we're going to be talking about why relationships fail. So the simple answer is selfishness. So I guess we can all just pack it on up and go on about our day because that's it. That's the simple answer. But unpacking that a bit, because if we're being honest, we're never not going to be selfish individuals. We as humanity are selfish. It's innately who we are. We can't change that. But we can try to become better versions of ourselves. And if we have that awareness, then that means that we're on a better path towards having better relationships. So here are some ways that relationships fail that you might recognize within your own relationships, and not just romantic relationships, but even friendships, because any relationship this holds true to. So if you notice these things in your relationship, this is a time where you can really self-reflect, correct some things, become aware of things, and try to make a change for the better, for a better relationship with you and that other person. So let's dive into these things. So it could be because we are being critical. No one wants to hear what they're doing wrong or what's bad about them, but yet we find the need to point out a log in a stick in someone else's eye when we have a log in our own. I totally got that phrase right. But you know what I mean. You know, we're pointing the finger at someone else when we have just as many things that we could be fixing on our own. And yes, sometimes there is a time for a honest, open conversation, because honesty and openness is important in a relationship, but there has to be that understanding, that mutual understanding and respect and kindness when bringing it up. Or maybe it could be because we aren't being appreciative. Everyone wants to feel special and important and appreciated for all of the things that they do. So we really need to make an effort to be aware of those things, point them out, thank that person for them, and be appreciative. Simply just acknowledging that person's time and effort towards something, regardless of whether it was for you or not. That person is going to feel all warm and fuzzy inside, think good thoughts toward you, and that's a bonus point. And if they're doing something specifically for you and you are not acknowledging it, then that tends to have the opposite effect. So that could be another reason. We have to be honest here. We are all humans. We make mistakes. We all have our eccentricities. It's who we are. So we tend to sometimes get into this phase, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship. More specifically, romantic relationship is where it's more common at. But we tend to have that infatuation phase where we can't see anything wrong. This person is great. I love this person. And then time goes by and we start to notice the things that aren't so great, because we're seeing this person as a human, and as humans we're not just great. We have our downfalls, we have our negative points. And so sometimes we focus on those negative points, those failures, instead of focusing on the good. And not to say that we shouldn't be acknowledging both to a certain extent, but when we're focusing on those failures and those negative points, and we dwell on those, that's all we can think about. And then we start having negative feelings about this person, we start having doubts, we start treating them differently, and it just creates a rocky road and a slippery slope. So to really focus away from the failures is to focus on the good and the positive and the things that make that person great. So maybe try doing that if you find yourself in this position. Something that I don't think is talked about or touched on very much is respecting people's personal boundaries and space. And this is not just a physical space or a physical boundary. This is really, what makes us comfortable, what makes us uncomfortable, and also, as humans, as individuals, we have rights. So someone shouldn't be saying, hey, you should do this, when it infringes on that human right. So it's really about just being respectful of you as an individual. And if someone's making you uncomfortable in a certain way, or you're trying to make someone else uncomfortable in a certain way, that's not healthy. And there needs to be something to sort it out between the two of you. You need to be, you know, standing up for yourself, or that person needs to be standing up for yourself, and you need to back off. There has to be that balance. It can't be a power play like that. So making sure that you are standing up for yourself and you're not making someone else feel uncomfortable by infringing on their rights. That can really make a relationship tumultuous and uncomfortable, and it's not something that anyone wants to be dealing with. So if you find yourself in that type of a situation, you need to seek help immediately. You need to figure out a solution, because it's not healthy for you and it's not healthy for your relationship. And if you're the person causing it, you need to figure out why you're causing it, and figure out a way to stop and respect that other person's space. Lastly, it could just be simply the whole essence of selfishness in and of itself. We are too focused on ourselves, and we're not interested enough in the other person. It's all about me, it's all about what I need and what I want, and you don't care about the other person. And I heard this at one point, and it's kind of like when you go to weddings and they say, what is your advice for the bride and groom? It's always what I have felt to be just the truest. If every marriage followed this, I think every marriage would be successful. And I say that, I know I'm putting that out there, but it's really, if you made your happiness based on the other person's happiness and put that other person before yourself, and so where it became a mutual thing in that relationship, that friendship, that marriage, whatever it is, then you would both be meeting each other's needs, making each other happy. You would be happy and your needs would be getting met. And so that's the best case scenario. It's not always true. Not everyone's on the same page. I understand that and I get that. But you're doing something right for the other person and you're meeting their needs. You're focusing on them. And I mean, we live in a selfish society, so we all want it to be about us. So if you're in a friendship or a relationship with someone and you're making it about them, that person's gonna like you, because we all want it to be about us. If you've never read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, I would highly encourage you to do so, because it is an amazing book. It has been highly regarded for years and years and years. This is such a great book with so many timeless, evergreen tips and just perspectives in it, and I can't recommend it enough. I think everyone should read it, not even an if, everyone should read it. So if you haven't, I would recommend going out and getting that and reading it. I think it would be so helpful to you in your life, because it was super helpful to me in mine. So from experience, past mistakes, and things that I felt and experienced and things that I've done and experienced, I share this truth with you and I pour it into you so that you can go forth and make better choices and have better relationships. And hopefully your relationships will not fail. They will be extremely successful and rewarding and blessed. And so, without further ado, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you guys want to see future content like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so I can pop up in your feed and we can hang out again in the future. If you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And as always, I love the community aspect of this, so please, please leave a comment below and chat it up with me. I'd love to talk to you. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.